Hello and welcome to another Near Reading cast. As always, my name is Jono, and I'm joined once again by Joey. How's it going, Joey?
Not too bad.
So this is the first of a few videos we're going to do from the Bristol Store Champs, and we're going to start on the losers final. So there are 3 players remaining, and these 2 are going to play for the right to play in the final. I should mention very quickly that the Dyer and Emmy Gill, who we're going to see in a second, started this game before I was able to start recording. We didn't lose anything except the first court turn, which I'll very quickly explain. She played subliminal messaging and then installed and used Jackson twice. So I don't know for sure if this was post-mulligan.
I think she probably
mulliganed. Was.
I'll go on a limb and say I'm assuming that she mulliganed this time.
So she discards a bunch of cards anyway, and so we're now back up to speed.
And you know for a fact, like it's playing Whizzard, that's not staying there anyway. So it was definitely, I think, a mulligan. Yeah,
so let's very quickly introduce the 2 players then, now that we can see them. So on the left-hand side, we've got Dyer from Exeter playing Whizzard, and on the right-hand side, we've got Emmy playing Sink. She's from Penzance, right down in the toe of
so Bristol is almost local for them, but still miles.
Yes, it is. So I actually think that I think Bristol was one of Emily's closest. Oh no, so we went to Exeter, and that took us a few hours to get down there. That was one of her closest. I think it might have even been her closest Store Champs, and it was like 2 hours away or something.
And Bristol's another 2 hours.
And that's
probably
another 2 hours
second
from there.
Closest.
Yes, and that's what happens when you live in Penzance, I guess. So fair. It's pretty fair. Chris pressures the Jackson. The fact that he can trash it for free, and
there's probably a lot of agendas in the
she would probably have used it anyway. So the Jackson does go away, and then we're going to see a date sack install.
Date sack gets a counter, and obviously if it's something trashable, he can trash it because he hasn't used fast track.
True, yeah. So fast track's an interesting include. It's good in NBN. It lets you do the fast advance thing.
Also lets you get a Beal if you want a Psycho Beal.
Yes. So let's talk about Sink very quickly. Sink taxes the runner for clearing tags. It's fair to say that there's going to be 1 or 2 cards that attempt to tag the runner in this deck. It'd be interesting to see what they are. So we can expect the likes of Dyer, Raven and Gutenberg, I'd say. Pretty common. Mid-seasons? Possibly. I think more likely than Seesaws.
If you're gonna Psycho Beal, then yes. No Seesaws, but
unlike
unless
Seesaws.
You're killing, which I don't think Sink is the best to kill. You're probably better in Harple, something like that. Or any H to hide the fact you're killing.
But I think we're fairly likely to see news teams, quantity predicted models, these cards that
news teams, QPMs. So
kill
essentially,
fill you with tags and punish you.
You lose your NEH tempo, but you knock a lot of their tempo.
Yes, I
think QPMs help you score. And
they have to play around,
News teams slow them down, or they have to clear the tags. Very few runners in the current meta can run tagged. It's not really a big meta. There used to be a meta where tag me was just a thing, but so much wild side that people don't want
That's
to tag.
true. So this Whizzard deck in particular, it is an example of the Whizzard deck that was very popular at the time and is still now, really. Not as popular now, yeah. The kind of Dumble Fork build with so it'll have Wildside and Faust and Pancakes, and there's Faust on the table, and it'll have Parasites and Cutlery to destroy any ice, and it'll create a very strong kind of economic pressure and force the corp to res and then destroy their ice. So we're going to get a last click run, I think, not click 3 actually, run on this remote.
I think it was last click.
It was last click.
Because he would have taken the tag and he couldn't beat the trace anyway, so it would have been a bad idea.
So he does drop out, and we've got an Astro.
Yes, well done, Emmy. That's the best thing it could have been.
Bit of table talk as well there. So apparently before this game, they had agreed that she wouldn't score any Astros and he wouldn't use medium. And the deal is off.
Yeah,
okay. And then
medium comes down. Yeah.
So he's going to check R&D. So medium is definitely a problem you've got to answer.
So is Gutenberg, though.
So Gutenberg, yes.
Gutenberg is an answer to that.
So it's cheap to res and strength 6, of course, on R&D. He does have Faust, so he's going to break
7.
it. Strength 6 on R&D. So it's 3 casts to break. With Faust.
Nice spooned and
liberated it was, yeah.
So he's 1 card.
So he's going to access 1, but he's going to start getting counters. So it's an Archangel, which I think you don't pay for if you're going to go bankrupt.
She's a bit poor, yeah. If she had all the money in the world, then sure, because I don't think you can break it. The tempo is quite big.
He probably can't afford to break it. That's true. So you force him to
bounce the medium. Uses a counter, has to spend another click and 3 credits. But so it's if you have all the money in the world, then I think it's worth it. But not when you have 3 credits.
is it likely to be installed maybe on R&D in the near future? I'd say.
Yeah, maybe. But also, this Gutenberg's going to really, unless it's got a forked in hand. So I guess right.
Forked, yeah.
Forked,
good
yeah.
guess, yeah. Forked Centuries, very good.
Well, it's very hard to link them because there's not really an association to centuries.
Yeah.
They hurt if you poke someone with a fork, but so do knives.
You can like hold them down. Yeah.
I don't know.
So we do get installed on the remote.
But that Gutenberg's gonna.
On 2 credits. Sorry, on R&D.
3 cards a time. It's quite tough.
Yeah. So, although Date Sucker, which you've now seen 2 of, is very much going to help. Is very good with Faust, especially if you're going to get repeated central accesses.
Yeah, you pay 1 for 2 Date Sucker tokens.
Yeah, I mean that's
2 cards
and an access.
Card.
It's not bad. You might hit the Archangel, assuming it's not an R&D.
News team.
Yeah, it's going to say that.
You can't.
I think, yeah.
You can't clear 2 tags even without Sync's ability.
And I think that he wouldn't want to anyway. I think you just accept that sometimes you've got to score 9 points. Sometimes you're going to take these teams. You just take them. I mean, if you get all 3, that's bad.
He might be taking. He might have. What's the Anarch one that moves agendas for
frame job?
Frame job.
I doubt it. The thing that makes me think he won't have frame job is that he's in the Elimination of the Store Championship, and that is a terrible card.
Very astute of you.
Yeah, although it does. I mean, maybe it's not terrible in a meta with news
only
team.
Sync. It could have just been Sync for days.
Yeah, maybe.
I put Archives Interface in my deck because of news team and CVS.
I put Data Dealer in my criminal deck, and then took it out, and then faced Sync, and forgot I'd taken it out, and aggressively drew when I thought I was going to win, and then it wasn't in there, and I was disappointed.
Awful.
Yeah, I think I did win that game.
Even though
that's a longer story, which I won't give now. It was a really
really
crazy last couple of turns, but yeah. Sad times. So we've got another install in this remote. Could it be? Could it be another Astro? No, it couldn't be, because she would have scored it. But what is it?
It would be sneaky if it was, though.
Could it be a San or something?
He can't get it. He can't play the trait. Well, he'd have to break it with Faust, which costs him 2
He'd have to clear the tag, which can't afford.
And he'd have to have 3 credits to clip left. So I don't need him to check it for the tempo swing. It's not worth it. So if it was another Astro, 2 Astro counters,
pretty strong. And we know there's a fast track in hand. So
then you can fast track another Astro.
As soon as you've got 2, yeah, exactly right. As soon as you've got 2 fast advance options, you can fast track. You can score out of your deck.
If that is an Astro, then it's almost killed.
Maybe it is.
But it could be like a QPM that she's.
I won't be surprised if it's a San, something like that as well. Which means maybe, because that's also a fast advance option, so you could still score out of your deck an Astro now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. So we're going to fast track. So it could be an Astro, yeah. The alternative, the alternative is you couldn't. I was about to think, if you could fast advance, fast track for a breaking news, and score it with the Astro counter to trash the wild side, but you still a click short.
You'd have to run Santan still.
Yeah, you'd have to still use a Santan or
which
whatever.
Seems like a lot of fast advance tools to get rid of. An Astro counter and a Santan, and a fast track.
Having said that does make a good point. If she draws, I've got a Bartek, so maybe that's not Santan. Which means that if we have a so install double advance, I expect. Astro, there we go. And Astro scores another Astro. Choo-choo. Indeed. So, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yep.
And Tim
still got 4 credits.
She asked. So Tim Fowler of Astro fame was watching that. He's a Bristol local, and he was watching this game. And Emmy said, was that the right thing to do? And he said, diplomatically, I cannot tell you. I must remain neutral.
Yeah. But
I won't tell you.
Ever scoring an Astro is always a good thing to do.
Scoring an Astro.
She's quite a new player.
She's fairly new. She's
very new and very good.
Yeah, she's done a lot of learning under Rob Thompson.
Players.
So I think she might be playing the same or very similar decks on the day. I don't know, actually. Maybe not.
I mean, it's like an all-star lineup at Bristol. I assume there was a lot of good players, and there was 48-ish people, and she's in the top 3, and so she's
it's did well.
The person they're trying to play as well, Dave Kuhlman, hasn't been playing that long either. I don't think.
I'm not sure. I don't think so either.
He also had a very, very good season. So, what new players?
Yeah,
coming here, stealing our prizes.
Take it. I know, right?
Yeah.
Better than me already. Okay, so we're going to see a run on R&D. Date Sucker Faust, So those data sackers are going to start to pay off, especially because there's 2 of them. To get 2 accesses. Graphics, that answers that question. That's another Gutenberg. Okay, so just in case Chris was under any doubt about whether he should be aggressively avoiding tags, I think that probably answers the question.
I don't think she's going to need a side graphics anymore. If that was an Archangel in front of the Gutenberg, would you res it? 4 credits. It costs 4 credits.
That's a good question. Yeah, maybe not now, but if you had, say, 6 or 7 credits, you might. She decides to purge.
Now she can res. Now I would res it.
It's not bad. Although they can run archives. Could be CVS, maybe.
Yeah, the purge without the ice and archives is a bit tough. It wastes its time.
Well, so I should mention at the start of the game, long ago, at the start of the game, when she used the Jackson, she only returned 2 cards. She actually left a face-down card in the bin.
Right, could be a CBS.
Could be a CVS, could be a news team. I think it's almost certainly one of those 2. Because otherwise, you might as well return it. The other card she left was subliminal messaging, which is fine.
Turntable changes things.
So Turntable does change things, because now suddenly all those breaking newses and quantum predictive models become that Astro with a counter.
Yeah.
Yes, this does change things a lot.
Can you turntable quantum cats? I was going to say cats.
Not if you're tagged, no.
Not if you're tagged.
Yeah, if that's your question, sorry.
Right. Because you don't steal it.
Turntable
says steal.
Is when you steal, and you don't steal it.
Okay.
Yes, but you can take breaking news, that kind of thing. So I don't know what the agenda makeup's going to be. I'm assuming 3 Astros, but there could be
3 QPM, 1 news, 1 breaking news.
Yeah. I think there's GFIs
and
actually.
Then 3 Bill.
Bill, there's going to be bills for sure. That makes sense too. There's going to be at least 1 bill. Probably a couple. I think there's GFIs as well. Maybe 2 GFIs.
Oh really? Then maybe there's no cats.
Maybe there's no cats.
I don't know, because you don't
even install cats.
You could go 3 Astro, 3 Bill, 3 cats, 1 breaking news. That would be sufficient.
Let's be honest, it's some combination of those agendas.
Some combination of the good agendas.
Yeah. You're not going to have a license acquisition. Might have a market reset.
Still, even like there's more ice. The virus counters have gone. Chris is on -1 point. Emmy has 4 and an Astro counter.
I mean, she's winning, right?
She's definitely winning.
If she draws an Astro or something, it's going to get scored straight away.
Is he forking R&D?
He is forking. That's sentries, so that's going to kill this Gutenberg.
If he gets there.
It depends if. Okay, so
interesting.
So she rests another Gutenberg. I wonder if that was a misplay.
The first one, right? Yeah, I'd let the first one die.
I might. The one with the parasite, right?
The one with the parasite die. Yeah.
I might have spent the money on the Archangel instead. We're still assuming that's what
Archangel,
it is.
have to break it and then crushing something with a parasite on.
Yeah. So I think I would have done that. I feel like resting that Gutenberg. Yeah, I feel like that was a mistake. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was, but it's also very late in the day. It was elimination round 5.
That's true. And also, this parasite's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Well, it does have 2 data suckers, so it's no res on the mystery ice, which we both think is an Archangel. And he's going to Faust his way through the Gutenberg, and he's going to get 2 sucker counters and access 1 card. Uh-oh. No. Disaster. So we access quantum predictive model and obviously opts to take the countered Astro instead. Some top turntable
You monster! Someone shouts in the background.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. So, I mean, for 1 access, that's pretty much the best kind of access you could have got.
Yeah, that run, that click went quite well for us.
Yeah, it did. So, now it's 3-1. Who's winning? I mean,
harder to say.
It seems like Emmy has no fast advance tools. I don't know what's in that remote. It could be a Sansan. I'm going to assume it could be a cat. Yeah, I'm going to assume it's not a non-cat agenda at least. It could be a cat actually.
Could be a GFI.
Also, in fact, she's going to score 50 minutes. Okay, after drawing. So
if that was a breaking news instead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I feel like breaking. Yeah,
it could have been disaster. Trash the wild side. So she gets off the table just to avoid losing her other Astro. I guess that makes sense. Although it didn't look like he was going to run it. Yeah. So an HQ run to pay credit for 2 suckers. That's going to be a good exchange rate for some time to come. Sweeps. Yeah. Okay. That's probably going to do good work against wild side deck. So he's going to run R&D and almost certainly blow up this Gutenberg. I wonder if we res. this other ice. Only 5 credits. She's definitely thinking about it, so it's resible.
Yeah,
Archangel.
it's a pity she didn't res it earlier. So you're going to take the hit anyway. You might as well have made him pay for it more times.
So spare resources are going to break the Archangel, and then Data Cycles will blow up with Parasite. Will blow up the Gutenberg. So we're going to get an access for 2 cards. This is only going to get worse, isn't it?
Ooh.
GFI, so you don't turntable that.
No, keep that one.
It's for 15 minutes, maybe.
She's offering.
Yeah.
You could take the 15 minutes.
Yeah. Very polite. And sees another card that I don't know what it was. But
yeah, it's a pity about that turn. You're right, the turn that she rezzed the Gutenberg out front and then left the Archangel. Had you read the Archangel then...
And it would have been res now. The other Gutenberg would be dead anyway.
Yeah, and you would have... so you'd have another one at the front. So you'd have another piece of ice and also... less cards.
Well, I mean, on the other hand, you cost him, for one of a better term, 4 Data Cycles counters. I mean, that's value. But yeah,
2,
I agree.
You've got 2 back.
You'd rather, you'd rather have a rezzed Gutenberg, I think, on R&D as well.
Yeah.
Even despite that. So, Chris only has 4 cards in R&D in his hand, so looking at sweeps.
Only having 3 points, you look down at your score area as the runner in this situation.
Should have 5, right?
Won. I'm like, why am I not almost won? Oh yes, because this deck.
GFI, damn it, news team.
Yeah. And then you see a cats and you're like, oh, and then it goes to the other. Yeah.
That's right. But
he's done well breaking all the. He hasn't taken attack like
he's very deliberately avoided attack the entire game.
Because whenever I'll get an access one through Gutenberg and clear it.
But that's your loss condition, right? So it's a pop up. Okay.
That's good. That's better.
That's not ideal, but it's going to help.
Yeah.
Quick Parasite. Actually, maybe Parasite the Archangel. Because you can kill it with Data Suckers. So David will break the Archangel. We're going to access 3 cards now. This is going to run away a little bit, I think. I should mention, I like that he used Faust to break the pop-up instead of paying a credit. It's the value of cards in a Faust deck. Yeah, okay, you can't do anything about that. I wonder if we see. Okay.
No, it's mine.
Emmy reluctant to give up the Project Bill. For no reason, Chris swaps it for an Astro just to prove a point, I guess.
Just to make a it's a poor board. I mean, that looked like 2 Astros scored with a counter, and now it's a Bill of 15 minutes.
Yeah, it is funny, but let's also bear in mind, conceivably there might be a 24/7 or something, and getting an Astro counter out of that there is a small edge case, but it's worth bearing in mind. So he's going to access 4 cards. I think he was being mean as well. Yeah. So we're going to see. I didn't get all of these cards, I'm afraid to say. But
how many points you want? You don't even know with
5,
these.
Yeah, it's hard to count. Yeah. But we didn't see anything of use. The Whizzard credits were already spent, I think. No, I think he just flipped them over early, so he didn't even see any assets he considered trashing. I'm sorry, he trashed a Jackson out.
Whizzard hasn't really been Wizardy.
I think the only assets are Jacksons. I think that might actually be the case. And used to, I guess.
Yeah, which he took. So it's
which you're not going to trash.
Yeah, Whizzard hasn't really been used, but still has swung this game from what looked like an incredibly dominant position from Emmy.
Yeah, I'd say that it's
turntable.
It's now Chris's game to lose because he can. I mean, and he's got 6 counters on Data Sucker. So if he draws a Parasite, he can just blow up the Archangel, and then he can run multiple times.
Or he can just use it to save himself cards to run in fast.
And he's still got David counter as well. Yeah, agree. So we've got an upgrade on R&D. Could be anything. CBS, right?
Yeah. She just said it's a Sand, which I think is quite funny.
Yeah. So Parasite on the pop-up. Is that an interesting choice? Would you rather blow up the Archangel than the pop-up?
Well, I think cards and sucker counters aren't his.
Maybe that's true. Maybe he's just playing a kind
money is his.
Maybe he's playing a kind of denial game. So he's happy to see her on low credits. Maybe he expects to run R&D quite a lot. Could be the case. Yeah. He's indeed going to run R&D. He's going to access 5 cards now. Oof. I mean, this is around the time you're going to win, right? When you access this many cards. He's electing to access R&D first, but Emmy's going to use her window to res Cyberdex, Calciferes, which is very nicely timed. So he's going to get 1 Data Sucker and 1 Medium. He does still get to access, and he asks to see it again, just to check. Yep, and you still can't do anything with it. Okay, all right.
Oh, well, you do, don't you?
Yeah. You go through the motions.
Yeah, well, also, just to remind yourself what it is, and you have to make yourself sure.
Yep.
The amount of times I count down, I'm like, I'm going to mill that Jackson, and then I forget which one.
Which one Jackson?
I get it wrong, and they go, oh, Jackson when they draw. I'm like, God damn it, I thought I milled that.
Yeah. Okay, so, tough for Emmy now. I mean, she has no fast advance tools on the table. We assume have a Bartic in hand, possibly. I don't know.
But no money to play it.
I mean, Chris is very adeptly avoiding tags, so you're almost certainly not going to get to psychographics. You could.
He's running out of cards though.
Yeah, maybe he might have a levy. It's possible.
True. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I think it probably is a levy, isn't it?
He might have a levy in this kind of deck.
Because otherwise, you just run out of being able to access. And that's...
Yeah, it is your pressure. If games go long,
there's got to be some in hand as well, I think.
So I'm not sure what you do here. I mean, unless you happen to draw a lot of cats.
Behind the data
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you've got Bartic or something, you can just try and money up and draw genders. But
it's a pity that Data Raven is not.
He's going to do a lot of accessing. Yeah. If you've got ice, I guess you need to put it on R&D. But that seems like a lot of effort you're putting into not winning the game.
Yeah, I think I've always, when I've played this sort of deck, put the first Data Raven on HQ and then the Gutenbergs on R&D, so that's like my cats are always going to be mine. I'm scoring. Okay. I'm going to get these cats now because they're all protected and I never install them.
Yeah.
Because Data Raven's one of that weird cases. Like if you get through, you're going to have a tag unless they have some really interesting tag tech. Just a forge or something.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
New entries.
So we did get
nice.
Us on R&D. We're going to get a fresh David to continue the campaign of hate on R&D. Presumably.
And now with no money,
she's got 4 credits.
Probably be able to get in.
So that outside ice probably can be rezzed. It's not going to res tax out Faust though. Data Raven, that does raise an interesting question. So I wonder what you do here. I think Chris has been very careful, so I think he's going to jack out. He's got no money as well, so he can't clear a tag.
Because you give Emmy 1 point, and suddenly on 5, that can get.
That's different. Yeah.
That can get
so
very scary.
He does jack out.
Sneaky Beal or something.
So he does jack out, and he's going to do some money stuff. He's going to career fed for daily casts and take credit. So I think he just needs to get his economy back up. He put some money on the turntable by mistake, but that's fine.
That's an interesting mistake to make.
He swapped the cards around as he Okay, so Emmy will draw. I wonder. The thing is, she's now broke, so I guess she needs to take 3 credits.
Yep.
Unless she happens to have the sweeps or something.
Install the cats behind the Data Raven, take 2 credits. That also works.
Yep.
But one place you can't have a cats right now is an HQ.
The thing is, Ice isn't going to hang around against this deck either. You can. So let's say there's a cats behind that Data Raven, and they both know it. He could forked it or parasite.
Jack out, tag one again.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't for 1 point when he only needs 2. Right? I don't.
Yeah, you're right. But if it's a cat, he swaps it for the bill, right?
Oh, and wins. Yeah,
exactly.
Good point.
Turntable.
Literally any agenda at this point wins the game.
Any agenda wins the
game.
game.
It doesn't even matter.
Correct.
How many points it's worth.
Yeah.
Turntable, so strong.
He is a good card.
People slated it for a long time until we shifted into like an Anarch versus Fastro meta. And suddenly we're like, Turntable, strong.
That was very good, yeah. I mean, you've seen Turntable in Out of Faction as well. I've seen it in Yale, I've seen it in some cake.
That's crazy to me. Yeah. I mean, when you've got Astrolabe and Desperado.
Well, Desperado's influence as well, right? But yeah.
Well, no, Astrolabe for Shapers and yeah, I just don't see why they would. Consoles are a weird one to import. Unless you're importing Desperado.
But it's influence, that's what I'm saying. Even in Criminal, it's influence now.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Subliminal comes back, might as well play it. We're going to get credit. I wonder if that's. I mean, so let's talk about subliminal messaging. Over this game, has it had a kind of ongoing benefit? I mean, I guess so. It's kind of.
How many times do you reckon Emmy's played?
Like 4, maybe. 4 or 5. Yeah.
Well,
it's clickless to use. It's a card slot, and it could be more, could be less. You can play it. You can play it on 0. I don't know. Yeah, it's not bursty, but pays out.
Much better than Pad Campaign in this scenario because it would have been trapped by Whizzard.
That is true, actually. I mean, if you're committing to going all in on operations and you're building a deck and you think I'm not really going to defend any assets, maybe you just swap pads for subliminal. You probably the thing about subliminal is you don't really want more than 1 or 2 because you can only play 1 a turn anyway. So unless it does give you a kind of buffer if they run. But okay, so we're going to get a forked run on the R&D, which does trash the Data Raven. He's going to jack out, clear the tag, exactly as we expected, and go back in. which means not even a cat can save an owl. So he's going to David the Archangel.
Yeah.
And access
two cards.
2 cards.
Seems strong.
Any agenda wins.
Yeah.
There is. GFI does also. So, well, that's quite an interesting game because, as Emmy reveals, she had an Astro in hand actually, so maybe it could all change. But she got off to a great start.
Phenomenal start.
She had a huge advantage. Suddenly, turntable hits the mat and everything changes. It all turns around. All those beautiful Astros trickle into the runner score area.
Just getting into that, some. I mean, it came from that run on R&D where not only did she make a small error with which ice to res, the one access was a
cat, which is trading for an Astro counter.
With a counter,
absolutely.
And, So, I think that would have happened anyway, even if she'd res the ice the other way round, because I think he probably would have still.
Well, he probably would have got access still. Yeah,
he would have still broken the
Archangel
and then trash the thing. So
I think you're right.
But it would have allowed you to stabilise a little bit after that, try and get it back, get that other Astro scored. Because you get the other Astro scored, and you're still only 2 points away from winning then. So yeah, it was interesting, phenomenal start. But
so is that the strategy? Is that how you use turntable? I mean, based on what you said before, I guess you don't play it a lot. But do you wait? You keep the turntable in hand. You don't bother playing it unless you need memory until you let the opponent maybe get a little ahead, you let them have a couple of agendas, and then you think, okay, now. I mean, I don't know. Especially against the likes of.
For all cards, for any card, you shouldn't play it unless it's going to do anything. I mean, you shouldn't just play a card because it's in your hand.
That's true.
I think that's a good rule of thumb for all cards.
If the corp has no agenda scored and you have no memory problems,
then why would you spend a click and 2 credits right now to install that card?
That's fair.
Also, if they have an agenda that you're not going to take, you know. But as soon as they score a GFI or they score an Astro, or you get to full memory and want to install it, but then install it. Yeah, it's not like Desperado, Grimoire, Astrolabe,
because they have an effect.
All these cards that have constant effects that you want to get your console really early, and that also is the good thing about turntable is you can run less of them.
That's true.
1 or 2 instead of 2 or 3 because you don't want it
late
early.
game. Yeah, that's true. That's
similar
fair.
with Grimoire actually for noise is you don't want it. You don't need a turn 1. Whereas criminals, I mean, Andy almost became a thing because you could get Desperado turn 1.
Yes, Mulligan for Desperado
with 3 in your deck
is a thing that you do. Yeah,
and you will guarantee having. I think the odds of not having a Desperado in your opening hand if you Mulligan for 3 in your deck as Andy is insane.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, Andy's 9-card hand. I feel like you have, and maybe you don't, slightly more. There's slightly more to your Mulligan decision than is there a Desperado in these 9 cards, because you could have 9 really good cards.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe I'm overlooking it. I certainly Mulligan for Desperado, best card in the game, right? Yeah. I mean, it's a great card. So,
but there's always caveats on there. Like people say, it's noise. Oh, you always just Mulligan for Wildside, but sometimes you look down your hand and you've got Cash, Parasite, Aesops,
and Aesops and stuff is good.
Wildside, you know, not Wildside, but a Chronotype say, and you're like, well, I'm keeping this. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. So, Emmy goes home, but she finished 3rd.
She does.
Chris is going to progress, and as you mentioned slightly earlier, he's going to play against Dave Coolman, who I think's from Dubai. He's fairly recently off these shores. I think he's a student, and is fairly new to the game. And they're going to play. Maybe? I think at Southampton. Yeah, certainly around there.
He travels around a lot. I know that much because
he does travel a bit.
And he went to quite a few store champs and.
He did pretty well.
Very good run, yeah.
Despite finishing 3rd, Emmy, I believe, I could be incorrect, got the bye because Chris Dyer.
Chris certainly already had one.
He won the bye at Exeter and also at loads of places. He did well.
Yeah, Chris and David.
And David also had
probably 2 of the best, had 2 of the highest ranked UK players after the Store Champ season.
On Laurie Points.
Laurie Points. Just generally just how many tournaments they won. They both did really well. So
yes, he. So I think David got his from Edinburgh. I want to say.
Yeah,
like surprisingly far away. Yeah. So those guys are going to play next. So we're going to see Chris play Sol.
Yep.
Quite an interesting Sol deck against.
Noise.
He's playing Noise, yes. Yeah. Dave's playing Noise.
Noise NEH.
Yes. Yeah. That's right, he was NEH, yeah. So we're going to see Noise against Sol. You've played against a lot of Sol.
Sol as Noise is
there's a lot of different Sols,
bad.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, they're going to have a bit of a denial thing, but
It's quite glacier-y.
always often gets to 0, sells something for 3 credits, does some stuff, back to 0. I mean,
You get targeted marketing for Wildside, turn 1. Get
yeah,
sad.
that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting mixed up with Spark again. I always do that.
Sorry,
Too many
no,
new agendas.
Sol. Yeah, Sol
Yeah,
is
I have played a lot of Sol because Brendan played it.
Oh,
for
of course he
ages,
does.
So
And James
so
did.
James.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's horrible. My 3 hacktivists became pay 1, remove their current, so you can install Wildside.
Yes.
Pay 1, remove their current. So
At least
you
you've
can
got
install
currents.
ASOS.
Yeah, currents is a good way out.
That helped my decision to put them in. I mean, hacktivists never did anything. It was always just remove their current because they would get one back. But that was useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, and there's some card shooters noise you have to install, so targeted marketing is going to be a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, if there happens to be a what's the Elim one? Housekeeping. It's
Housekeeping.
horrible for
Yeah,
noise.
that's bad for noise.
You literally Wildside
I'll
flies.
remember
You
that.
install 2 cards.
Yeah.
Like you install 2 cards almost every turn.
Yes.
It becomes very tough. Yeah.
So hacktivists
You will deck
to
yourself.
avoid it. Yeah.
So fast, and you've got no levy, so it's hard.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, be interesting to see that.
Yeah.
Chris also had a fairly interesting Soul deck, which is, without giving too much away, I'll say is different from
The one that floated
Brendan's
around
and James's.
Reading
Yeah, the
and
ones that
Oxford
those guys
area,
both
yeah.
played. Yeah, it's a bit different.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yes, okay, so that's it. So, viewer, I'd like to remind you, if you'd like to see any more of our videos, you can find them all at the website, nearreadinggrid.co.uk. You can find us on Twitter and on Facebook, and you can also find us on Patreon if you'd like to support the channel and help make the videos better. Thank you, Joe, for helping me commentate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, viewer, for watching, and we'll see you next time.